Good evening. I am now on the mic, but I'm not really, is that working? Sounds a bit louder than my own voice. Usually it says recording has begun. Has that? Okay, great. Thank you. So good evening, everyone. Bonsoir, bienvenue to our first meeting, which is our TNO meeting of August 21st. And the attendance sheet has gone around. Could I have a resolution to open the meeting? Moved by Councillor Godin. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Just a reminder that this meeting is being recorded for Facebook Live and that we will be using, I guess, this microphone. We're not on the new sound system. We are using the microphones, yes. Very good, thank you. And this recording will be available by tomorrow on our website. Number 3, the declaration use of language of choice. Je rappelle l'importance pour les membres du conseil régional et les autres participants à la séance de s'exprimer librement dans la langue de leur choix. Au besoin, il y aura la présence sur place d'une ressource de la MRC pour assurer une traduction. I'd like to reiterate the importance for regional council members and other participants in the sitting to express themselves freely in the language of their choice. If necessary, a resource of the MRC will be available to ensure translation. And the declaration of decorum. Nous sommes élus par les gens du Pontiac pour les représenter au mieux de nos capacités. Ils s'attendent à ce que nous menions nos réunions d'une manière professionnelle. J'écouterai très attentivement les débats et les discussions de cette réunion et si j'entends des paroles négatives ou des critiques à l'égard de quelqu'un d'autre, je retirerai la réunion et demanderai à cette personne de s'excuser. Je vous remercie. We are elected by the people of the Pontiac to represent them to the best of our ability. They expect us to conduct our meetings in a professional and business-like manner. I will be listening very carefully to the debate and discussion in this meeting. And if I hear any words of negativity or criticism of anyone else, I will stop the meeting and ask that person to apologize. Thank you. Okay. I will now turn to Ms. Lesage, our DG and Clerk Treasurer, who will be reading an excerpt from the Municipal Code of Quebec, namely Section 159. Okay.
Le président du conseil maintient l'ordre et le décorum et décide les questions d'ordre, sauf appel au conseil. Il peut donner l'expulsion à l'endroit où se tient une séance du conseil de toute personne qui en trouble l'ordre. The officer presiding over the sitting of the council maintains order and decorum and decides questions of order, saving appeal to the council. She may order that any person disturbing a sitting of the council be removed from the place where the sitting is held.
Thank you. Now we will go to number 5, the reading and adoption of the agenda. I need a resolution for TNO agenda, moved by Pro Warden Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Are there any declarations of interest or conflict on this agenda? Okay, seeing none. Number 7, could I have a resolution to adopt the minutes of our last sitting? Moved by Councillor Christine Francoeur. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Now we go to public question period, but this is for the TNO agenda. Is there anyone that would like to speak about the TNO? Okay. We'll go on to our finances with Annie Vaillancourt. Accounts paid 9.1, a resolution. Annie?
Good evening, bonsoir. So for the TNO, so these are expenses for the last 2 months since there was no council in July. We have a total of $368,374.91, which was mostly spent on road maintenance, grading, and purchase of culverts and hydro bills for the garage and gas for vehicles.
Any comments or questions on that report? Could I have someone move the resolution? Moved by Councillor Kelly. Nice to see you, Karen. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Number 10, we have a notice of motion. Jason Durand.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Bonsoir tout le monde. Notice of motion regarding the bylaw establishing the Land Use Planning Advisory Committee. This is needed for the TNO. In other words, an advisory committee of land use planning allows the MRC Pontiac Council to receive opinions and recommendations concerning urban planning and regional planning and regulations that fall under the purview of such a committee. Donc, avis de motion concernant le règlement constituant le comité consultatif en aménagement du territoire, donc ce qui est nécessaire pour le TNO. Donc, un comité consultatif en aménagement du territoire permet au conseil de la MRC de Pontiac de recevoir des avis, des recommandations en matière d'urbanisme et touchant la planification et la réglementation régionale. Donc, notice of motion.
Thank you. Okay,
We'll go actually with the adoption du projet de règlement constituant le comité consultatif en aménagement du territoire. Donc, adoption of a draft bylaw establishing the advisory committee on land use planning. Yeah, exactly.
could I have someone move that? Moved by Councillor Donnie Gagnon. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. And now would you like to do number 11? We have a resolution protocol agreement for the restoration of stream cross.
Jane. Yeah, protocol agreement for the restoration of stream crossing. So within the framework of the watercourse crossing restoration program, the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forests has agreed to fund 7 projects previously submitted by the MRC Pontiac. The MRC Pontiac must sign a protocol agreement with the ministry in order to benefit from this funding. Donc, protocole d'entente pour la restauration des traverses de cours d'eau. Dans le cadre du programme de restauration de traverses de cours d'eau, le ministère des Ressources naturelles et des Forêts a accepté de financer 7 projets présentés préalablement par la MRC de Pontiac. Par contre, la MRC de Pontiac doit signer un protocole d'entente avec le ministère afin de bénéficier de ce financement. So resolution so I can be authorized to sign the document.
Any comments or questions? Could I have someone move this resolution? Moved by Councillor Ed Walsh. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Number 12, the request for authorization to use a sum of money from the Land Development Fund. Jason, a resolution.
Yeah, so the MRC Pontiac has the opportunity to carry out several road improvement projects, including stream crossing repairs and vegetation control in roads right away. However, the TNO's annual budget for this type of work is not sufficient to accomplish all the tasks required this year. So that said, it would be desirable to be authorized to draw $200,000 from the budget surplus in the Land Development Fund. Donc, demande d'autorisation d'utilisation d'une somme d'argent provenant du Fonds de mise en valeur du territoire. La MRC de Pontiac a la possibilité de réaliser plusieurs travaux d'amélioration du réseau routier, dont la réfection de traverses de cours d'eau et le contrôle de la végétation dans les emprises routières. Cependant, le budget annuel du TNO pour ce type de travaux n'est pas suffisant pour accomplir toutes les tâches qui sont requises pour cette année. Cela dit, il serait souhaitable d'être autorisé à puiser 200 000 $ dans le fonds de mise en valeur du territoire provenant des surplus budgétaires. Résolution, s'il vous plaît. Resolution, please.
Perfect. Any questions or comments on this? Could I have someone move the resolution? Moved by Councillor Brentor. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Thank you, Jason. Great job, as usual. And could I have a resolution to close the sitting? Moved by Councillor Alain Gagnon. All those in favor? Opposed? And the TNO meeting is closed. And I have an important announcement to make. Someone who we saw recently, our communications person, has just told us, Francis, that As we know, he is in Iceland and he is tuned in to Facebook Live and he says the reception is excellent. So, so it's working well in Iceland. Hopefully it's good in the Pontiac. That's right. Kim just gave me that message. Perfect. And I say that's dedication. Thanks. Yeah. Hi, Francis. I don't know how many hours ahead you are, but good for you to be listening to us. Okay. So we'll begin our regular public meeting and we need to open the meeting with a resolution moved by Mayor Raymond Pilon. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Just a reminder that this is being recorded on Facebook Live and will be available tomorrow on our website. The statement of language of your choice, I have recently read it. It applies for this meeting as well as the declaration statement by the warden, declaration of decorum, and also our Law 159. Reading and adoption of the agenda, I need a resolution, please, moved by Mayor Doris Ranger. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Are there any declarations of conflict or interest on this agenda? Okay, seeing none, could I have someone move the resolution for the adoption of the minutes of the last sitting? Moved by Mayor Ed Walsh. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Number 8, adoption of the minutes of the special sitting of August 14th, a resolution moved by Mayor Lynn Cameron. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. So we're going to begin with 2 presentations tonight. First of all, we have Carol Ann Barton, I believe, is here, representing Jennifer Milkey and myself, and we'd like, is she here? Carol Ann Barton? Good. Hi, Carol Ann. Sorry, I hadn't seen you. Please come up. This is an important announcement about a very important event in the Pontiac. And just give you this microphone so everyone will be able to hear you. Concerning the Terry Fox Run.
Good evening, Madame Warden and mayors and guests. Thank you very much for having me here tonight to talk about a very special event. So every September in the Pontiac, we have 2 very important events. The first one being the Shovel Fair. The other one, a little bit lesser known, is the Terry Fox Run. And unfortunately, it's kind of waning in popularity lately. But cancer is not. So we need to get some more awareness and get more people involved in our run. Cancer affects everybody. I'd be hard pressed to find somebody in this room who's not been affected or knows somebody who has had cancer or has been touched by it somehow. And the Terry Fox Foundation has been the #1 foundation for research and support across Canada. My involvement in Terry Fox, the Terry Fox Run over the few years here in Shawville and in my past life in Toronto didn't come from being touched by cancer, but rather a very bizarre chance encounter of a 13-year-old girl with Terry Fox. So I live in Northern Ontario, north of Sudbury, and I was at a truck stop and Terry Fox came in. It was in the evening, and he was with his entourage, and I noticed him. A 13-year-old girl who's actually quite dreamy. He was really cute. He had curly blonde hair and perfectly straight teeth. He was a very, very nice looking man. But to look down and see what he was running on was just horrid. It's nothing like what the prosthetics look like today. And that evening was quite messy, and it really affected me. He was hurting, and I wondered to myself, why would anybody put themselves through that? Why? I've always asked myself that, and I guess as I've gotten a little bit older, I realized the why is his selflessness. He gave of his heart. He gave to help others. Just that's who he is, and that was what he wanted to do. So I asked myself, what is a little bit of planning and organization, a day of putting up posters or writing thank you cards or making muffins or whatever it is we have to do to organize this thing. It's nothing compared to what that young man did. So I ask you, what can you do for us? Can you help us make this run better? Make the Terry Fox run a bigger event in Chauvin forward. I brought with me some bags, excuse me a second, that include some posters that I ask you to put up. If you need more, please contact us. We have them, many. So we'll get somebody to hand those out after. There are so many ways that you could help. Could you put the Terry Fox run on your community calendar if you have one for your municipality? Sure, we're September 15th at 2 o'clock. Won't be on Sunday. It's always there. Community calendar and put it up on your social.
September 15th. It's on the poster that I'll be handing out. Okay, put it on your social, not just your municipality, but also your personal, and share it for us, please. That would be great. Number 2, come to the event, run, walk, cheer somebody on if you can. Make a donation. Go online at terryfox.org. Find our run and make an online donation. What's $50? He ran across Canada on a prosthetic leg, right? And if you could partner with us as a municipality and make a donation, what we're trying to do is make this a bigger family event. And so we're looking for, maybe we'll have a face painter, we'll have some more family activities at the event to draw in a newer, fresh crowd of people to be involved. If we could do that. And the last thing,
Seated at this table is, you're the vice president, right, of the Lions, Chauville Lions? Ed? Yes, sorry. And, and, and we're very fortunate because the Chauville Lions, as you know, are going to provide a barbecue. And that was always a tradition at PHS. You would be there with the hamburgers and hot dogs. So it's a nice incentive for people who are participating.
I think Jennifer's closed that loop for us already with Terry. The last thing that I wanted to bring up, and maybe you can help me with a quick donation or have some insight into this. After 42 years of running the Terry Fox Run in Chauville, Rick Vallon and John Petty walked away with no recognition. Not from the foundation. I don't think from the community. I don't think there was anything given to them or any recognition given to them.
I had discussed this with Jennifer Meikle and the MRC, because John Petty in particular and Rick Vallon would come here year after year. We will do something and present something. I think we had planned to do this at the September meeting, which our public meeting, which will be about a week after the event. And I'm so glad that Jennifer sort of alerted me to the fact that they haven't really been thanked. And so this is something that covers the whole Pontiac. So I had offered that we would like to do something. And I think you're also going to be doing something the day of the run.
If we could look at you for that. And I know that Terry Fox Foundation is now onto it and they're working on something for John and Rick as well. So that's all I have. Be sure to please pick up a bag on the way out with posters and whatnot. Do give us a call if there's anything we can do to support you in making and helping you to create awareness. And I'll thank you very much for your time tonight.
Carolyn, thank you very much. And thank you for stepping up to the plate with Jennifer Milkey. And I'm also helping. And we've got, you know, anyone around the table who the day of could come to walk it, ride a bike. I know Ed will probably be here barbecuing, but certainly whatever you can do to get the message out. I think there's a lot of family interest. They just need to know that the event is taking place once again. So thank you so much, Carolyn. And we were thinking we could pass these out to the mayors perhaps right now, and then they've got them to take back to their municipalities. Secondly, we have a presentation. We know that our Chauville Fair is coming up. And we know that we have a 4-H club that I believe is the biggest in Canada with 85 members, we heard last year. And Casey Lafleur is from Mansfield, and she's the current president. And I've asked Casey to come up. Last year, you were telling us all about your experience at the Royal Winter Fair, but maybe you could just let us know from a 4-H perspective. Here, I'm going to give you a minute. We'll get all these passed out and I'll just continue talking about you. I thought it would be interesting for Casey to give us just a little bit of an update on how 4-H has been this past year, how many members you have, and what 4-H will be doing. Like, what 4-H events are there at the fair, you know, type of thing. Okay, you can go ahead.
Thank you for having me here tonight. My name is Casey LaFleur. I'm the president of the 4-H Club this year. The club encourages youth to build friendships and a sense of community while learning about the agriculture industry. I have been a member of the 4-H Club for 3 years now, and I hope to continue encouraging more youth in the Pontiac to join and learn more about agriculture and where our food comes from and all the work that's been put into it. During the shovel fair, our club has an open barn and an agriculture awareness display, and animals that members have worked on all year. We encourage everyone to stop and feel free to ask kids questions about their projects this year. You might just learn something new about agriculture or the work that's put in by the kids. On September 1st at 6 p.m., 17 of our club members, including myself, will be hosting an auction and selling our market animals. The funds raised by the sale will go towards our education funds and the continued growth in the agriculture industry. For myself, I'd hope to become a vet and open a large vet clinic right here in the Pontiac. I appreciate you all listening to me tonight. Thank you.
I have one question on behalf of the mayors. For the 17 4-H members that are going to be selling their animals, could you give us an idea of what kind of animals these are?
So we have 7 steers this year and 10 lambs.
Means is your 4-H members have been the ones that have raised these from babies, basically, up until the size that they can now be sold. Yeah. Well, Casey, on behalf of the mayors, we just want to say thank you so much for your leadership and for having the largest 4-H in Canada. We're really proud of that because agriculture is very important in MRC Pontiac. So thank you again. Okay. We will next go to the, we still have our public question period coming, but we will go now to the warden's report. It's a little bit longer than usual just because we didn't have a meeting in July, so I'm reporting since the June council meeting. But I want to begin by very quickly recognizing one of our mayors who has had a very difficult challenge, a very difficult situation on her plate. And she showed great perseverance, tremendous courage in her community. And around this table, we really salute her. The report has become public. It was actually in the equity, but this report is public from the CMQ. And this is our Mayor, Odette Godin. Odette, we really salute you. This took a lot of courage and congratulations. And I think it sets a tone for how things are to be done in the Pontiac. So thank you very much. So jumping into my warden's report, and I know that Mayor Corey Spence in particular has also recognized you publicly. Would you like to say anything, Corey? I said it? All right, thank you. So my first meeting that I attended was for the committee territorial. This is a large committee of the CISO. Had a conference with Sophie Chattel and Andre Fortin. Attended the AGA in Gatineau for Loisir Sport Outaouais. Went to the grand opening of the Patrimoine Sheenborough Heritage at Sheenborough Town Hall. The grand opening of the splash pad at Rapide des Joachins with a barbecue provided by Lucy. And Doris, of course, was very much present at her Sheenborough Heritage Hall. FRR1 Selection Committee CPO, Budget Committee, call with Gail Sullivan from the MERN, AGA for Maison des Jeunes, presentation of the burse. Many of our mayors were there, scholarship Fund at S.E. McDowell. Carrefour Jeunesse Emploi, the Assembly, the annual general meeting for 2024. A dinner at the Knights of Columbus, Fort Collonge. July 1st, Canada Day. Started with mass and breakfast in Sheenborough, and then was in the Shawville Parade with Bill McCleary and Ed Walsh, as well as Andre and Sophie. Connexion Fib Pontiac, or Picanock, pardon me. Meeting about Oiseau Rock, meeting with Andre Fortin. The Kebewek First Nation had an exhibit at the Pontiac Archives, and also a meeting. Just heard a bit of an echo about something I said about 2 minutes ago. Come on, Iceland. Okay. Maybe it's going to Iceland and then coming back to the Pontiac. I had another gathering at Sheenborough Hall, had a discussion with William Robertson, who now works for the Premier, meeting with Gail Sullivan, Jason Durand, Bill Stewart, and also another meeting with Gail Sullivan, Jason Durand, and Ed Walsh. Then had an interview with La Presse, Chute Collonge board meeting, opening of the new pump track in Fort Collonge. What is it? Second largest in Quebec. Do you have a microphone down there? Okay, maybe when you do your announcements, you can elaborate, because I'm sorry, I'm the only one with a microphone at the moment. So we'll have to hear your details later.
And it's lots of fun.
Oh, our DG has been on the pump track on a skateboard.
No, my daughter's bicycle.
She fits on her daughter's bicycle. That's amazing. Wow, what a daredevil. I hope you had a helmet on. They are required. Okay, had a meeting about the consequences with the TNO, with the water damage to the roads. Jason was talking about the 7 different projects we have there. This involved Emily Trudell, Gail Sullivan, Julian Gagnon, and Jason Durand. We've had 2 meetings about renewable energy with involving Interjex and the Credo. Had a meeting with Jen Milkey about Oktoberfest and Terry Fox. Investment committee signed the new Green garbage contract. Attended the country jamboree opening with Bill McCleary and Ed Walsh for the Lions, Clarendon Shawville at Armstrong Farm. Went on a bus tour about the history of Clarendon. This was really a great bus tour. Had lunch with Kim Lesage and Sophie Chattel. Investment committee, the CA de Transcolin in Wakefield. Also CSI. Had a prep meeting, our plenary meeting. Attended the Jardin Educative 35th anniversary and barbecue. I left before the speeches, but I know Colleen was there, and I think you presented a plaque from Litchfield. Very nice. And then our waste management committee meeting, we had that on Monday night. So any questions on my warden report? Okay, seeing none, we're going to go around the table now. I'll pass this microphone to Raymond Pilon. Please talk about any of the events in your municipality.
Thank you, Jane. Raymond Pilon, Mayor Campbell's Bay. Pretty quiet in Campbell's Bay these days. The only big thing happening, they completed the road work on Front Street. So the MTQ all done. So just have time, take a ride. The 2 lines down the middle. Yeah. So a very nice work done. That's it. Thank you very much.
Carl, Mary, Leaning Kid, nothing to announce.
Colleen Larvier, Mayor of Litchfield, all is quiet, except for the rain. Thank you.
Alain Gagnon, Bryson. Le comité de revitalisation aura un tournoi de golf le 7 septembre et le centre des loisirs, tournoi de balle 21-22 septembre. Merci.
Jennifer Quill, Otter Lake. We've been busy on 2 fronts this summer. One is to implement our education and awareness campaign about waste management, particularly upping
our game in terms of recycling and composting. So we prepared a brochure that explains where everything should go. And we've given out kitchen compost pails with the brochure at our transfer station. And a few of us counselors, along with staff, are present to speak directly to people as they come in to drop off their waste. The second thing we've been busy with is the Eurasian milfoil that we're dealing with that has been discovered in 2 of our lakes. And we've had biologists up to do a full assessment of those lakes, and then we can determine what we can do to mitigate the spread. We've also been out with another biologist to inspect about 5 lakes in the area to determine whether it's in fact present or not. So of the 5 we've done, 2 of them are there was just no evidence of milfoil, which is great news. And the other 3 will have to have a strategy to deal with it.
My name is Lucie Rivet, Mayor of Rapid Dishwashing. The water splash is finished, but also in the park, we did a lot of stuff we did for the kids. They can play with different tools in the park now. And also, we will have a barbecue the 27th of August with Madame Larivière, the health care, like, you know, Madame Larivière? Yes, yes. So it's open to the public. So we have that the 27th August this year, this month. So that's it for us.
Bill from Shawville. My thunder was kind of stolen with the Terry Fox presentation and the mention of the fair, but those are our 2 events. We have lots of on-street parking. We have lots of spaces marked for no parking. I'm sure Mr. Martineau will be watching those to make sure nobody parks there. And figure skating and minor hockey both run parking lots. One is at the PPJ bike trail. The other is on the east side on a vacant lot, and they really appreciate people parking there. It's a big fundraiser for them. Thank you.
Sandra Armstrong, maire de Mansfield et Pontefract. C'est tranquille à la municipalité de Mansfield, mais le parc des Chutes Coulon, je vous invite à visiter le 26 août prochain. Donc, la station d'hydro va être fermée, donc il n'y aura pas d'eau. Vous allez voir la formation des roches, puis ce que les chutes font aux roches, bien là, vous allez voir qu'il n'y a pas d'eau, donc c'est quelque chose à visiter. C'est tout.
Christine Francard, maire de Fort-Coulonge. Je voudrais commencer par souhaiter une bonne année scolaire parce que l'année scolaire va débuter la semaine prochaine. Puis je pense que c'est important qu'on pense aux chauffeurs d'autobus, professeurs, les élèves. Donc, une bonne année scolaire. Puis, yes, we did have the opening for the pump track. It's 1,300 meters long. It's one of the biggest in Quebec. And if you look in the region, including Ottawa, we have the biggest. So we're pretty proud of it. Kids are enjoying it, and so are adults.
Odette Godin, Waltham. Pretty quiet in Waltham. Not. There was going to be a lynching, however, the report came out. We opened up our new store at the transfer site called Waltham Mart, where people can put things that are still good for other people to be able to take. I know Jennifer likes that. And people like it. They like it already. We built it ourselves. The ice rink is now pickleball and, oh, what's that other thing out? Skateboard. Thank you. Skateboard park for the kids. And there's ball going on like crazy, and that's it. That's all.
Ed Welsh, the mayor for Clarendon. Things are fairly quiet in Clarendon. Just a couple of things with regards to the Terry Fox run. Just so you know, Jane, on their last year of being in there, John and Rick, we actually had plaques done up and donated to them from the Shovel Lions Club. And we also had prior to, I don't know, it was prior to COVID actually. So we actually got an award from the Shovel Lines and given it to John for his years of volunteers. It's one of the highest awards you can give to a person outside this Lines member or whatever. It was the Helen Keller Award. So yeah, that's possible. I've never actually had any conversations with them, but exactly. Yeah, they did get some recognition, but I mean, for all the work they've done, they certainly deserve more. And just a plug for the Shovel Lines, we have a booth at the fair. We have the cheapest food prices in town to help families feed their kids because when you come to the fair, it's not cheap. We bundle things together: hot dogs, nachos with cheese, and something else with lots of sugar on them, then send them on their way. But you can still probably get it for $5 or $6 and still have money in your pocket. So stop in and have a snack.
Brent Orr, Mayor of Bristol, nothing to report this month.
Jean-Louis Corriveau, maire de l'île du Grand-Calvet. Pas d'activité ce mois-ci à l'île du Grand-Calvet. Merci.
Lynn Cameron, Portage to Fort. Just to note that the Golden Age Bingo is changed from 1:30 to 1, and that's every Monday afternoon at the Catholic Church Hall. The Men's Coffee Club is still going, and it's Wednesdays at 9 o'clock. And coming up in September, we have a demonstration on vermicomposting, which is worms. And it will be September 14th at 11 o'clock in the town hall.
Good evening, it's Karen Kelly from Thorn. As you all know, Oktoberfest is coming up. But we have right now, for the end of the month of August, we're trying to organize a lot more people to get involved with Oktoberfest. And quite often right now, they're going to be bringing people in to make sauerkraut and also to do the potatoes. And if anybody would like to learn how to do sauerkraut, get in touch with Lorraine Breslow, and she'd be more than happy to. And other than that, we have the people organizing themselves to do things like this. And so far, that's it.
Hello, everyone. Doris Raja Shinborough. Shinborough Recreation Association is hosting a daytime dance on the afternoon of, should I say the date? Sunday, September 15th. But we'll look to see if we can be out. This will happen in a light lunch will be served. Tickets are $15 per person. And you can contact them. You can get pictures from online. Also, we are still having line dancing cards with her Thursday night and dancing to the city and night and Thursday morning. And Tuesday evening, and I believe they have yoga. So we're kept very busy machine. Thank you.
Corey Spence, Mayor Élise Allumette. The community is taking a little breather after a very big successful weekend of Island Fest this weekend past. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank all the people who were involved in making it happen and making it a big success. All the volunteers, all the staff, and all the community for turning out on a rainy weekend. Thank you very much. It's appreciated.
Donald Gagno, Chichester, nothing to report this month.
And actually, Kim Lesage has something I'm going to ask her to announce.
I received an email just a little while ago to say that there's going to be a food drive on by My FM this Thursday. So Thursday, a food drive with My FM and Bouffe Pontiac. They'll be live on location at the Giant Tiger near Shovel for their annual food drive. Alors, il va y avoir une collecte de denrées, c'est ça le mot, ce jeudi. C'est une collaboration de MyFM 96.1 et Bouffe Pontiac. Puis ils vont être en direct au Giant Tiger près de Chaville. C'est pour leur levée annuelle. Alors, je vous invite toutes d'être présents. Il va aussi avoir un barbecue. It's around lunchtime and there'll also be a barbecue this Thursday.
Great. I had one question, Jennifer. When you were giving your report, you talked about a brochure that you have in Otter Lake. Would it be possible for you to pass that around either to other municipalities so we could see it, or maybe even bring it to the Waste Management Committee meeting? Oh, you did on Monday night? I know. Well, the problem is I wasn't here. I was virtual somewhere else, so I didn't have a chance to look at it. Is it an actual paper brochure? Okay. Be nice to see that. Okay, super. Perfect. Thank you. And now we go to public question period. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak? Yes. Please identify. Actually, we do have a podium that you can stand at if it or all right.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, yes. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eric Scobie. I'm a resident of Campbell's Bay. Oh, sorry about that.
It has to be
My
here
name
so
is
we
Eric
can hear.
Scobie. I'm a resident of Campbell's Bay. I've lived here for 12 years. I've lived in the Quéant area for approximately 15 to 20 years. And I was raised in the Elmer area. So I'm very familiar with the West Quebec area. My concern tonight is with the rave, which has been put on Wilson Road in Litchfield. And if you don't mind, I would like to I've made some notes that I'd like to read from. The concern I have about the rave on Wilson Road in the township of Litchfield is that it is not properly regulated. It is true, because of lack of concern on Litchfield's part, it is not of concern on the Litchfield's part, but because this is a new development. In research on the requirements, I found in areas that have had many more experiences in this type of development, the requirements have everything to do with safety and giving the participants a good time. These requirements have to do with sanitation, i.e. porta potties, wash stands, and proper construction of raised platforms, ease of health care in case of accidents and overdoses of drugs, proper policing of things like drugs, public nudity, underage drinking, and polluting of the Ottawa River and the land itself. These people should be shown that this area knows what is required to have a good time without putting people in danger. I grew up somewhere else and have lived in this area for, as I say, 12 years. And I saw that in this area was, this area was out of control. If I saw that it was out of control, I would not have moved here. These young people will age, and we'll want them to have a positive memory of this area, an area where they would want to raise their families and not a lawless area where anything goes. This summer, the rave has repeated itself on 2 weekends, and the music continued late at night and started up at dawn the next day. It may be wrong, but these hours and the only possible, it is wrong, and the only way that these hours are possible is with the aid of drugs. Last summer, these participants approved of nudity on public beaches in Bristol, which I know where there were complaints about. In Bryson. In In doing research, I found that the city of Ottawa published the clearest requirements, and it was the fire chief's job to lay out these requirements before a permit is given out. These requirements would, of course, have to be posted in both English and French. On a personal level, I look forward to regulated sound levels and hours of operation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Eric had sent me an email, and we did have one phone call. And as you know, I am not a fan of these events, in particular because I saw them in Toronto, and I do know that it's impossible now to have a rave in Toronto. It's being called a music festival here, but at the end of the day, unless, as Yves Martineau told us, that we have enough SQ bylaws in place to really make it difficult, they're going to continue. And yes, I know this is on private land and everything else, but I did notice one thing. This year on Facebook, there were at least 40 comments. It wasn't just you, Eric. There were many people weighing in on it. I happened to go to, my hairdresser lives right at the top of the hill in Bryson. And, you know, she's a bit shy to come and speak, but she said that every night they couldn't sleep at all. And her husband has a job in Ottawa. He couldn't sleep. And she said, unfortunately, they may have to look at moving. So I think that personally, Eric, what I can say is I am motivated and interested in at least seeing what the city of Ottawa has done, looking at it not just being because it's in Litchfield or close to Bryson. Really, it's something for the whole Pontiac. And unless we stand up and say that there are certain quality of life guidelines that we wish these operators to comply with, anything will go, because it's really easy for them here in the country. And it's not easy in places like Toronto and Montreal, etc. And so, and another thing that I have never known is exactly what arrangements are made at the municipal level. I don't know, you know, what kind of a permit price is being required, but I know the Mayor of Litchfield wants to speak, and that's great, but you have my guarantee that I will pursue this further, because I am concerned. I've heard from many people. And although you're the only one that came out tonight, this is an issue for many municipalities because it's so close to the Ottawa River, and sound carries because of the Ottawa River. Okay, thank you.
So in response, first of
So
all,
do you want to ask Eric a question now?
no, I'd like to give a little bit of information. You said you didn't know what requirements had to be done to get a permit
At the level of your municipality.
of our
yes.
municipality,
Yes.
because it is in the municipality of Leachville.
Yes.
And there is no permit given. There is no permit even asked for. They don't come and ask for a permit.
They don't.
No, they
just
don't.
hold
They
it
never
on their
have.
property.
It is private property. They advise us, we advise the SQ. Again, it's private property. We do not have a municipal court so that we can give them fines. They do receive fines, but unfortunately, they make enough money to pay the fines 10 times over.
Yes, they make a lot.
So
You're right.
it is something that we are very concerned about, and we have spoke to our legal advisor. We have taken different steps. We are not in ignorance to the fact that people do not like this. And it does cast, you know, you can hear it in Campbell's Bay, you can hear it in Shawville, you can hear it all over the place. So we will do whatever we can. I will not, however, guarantee anything because like I said, we have spoke to our legal advisor, and unless somebody buys that property and does not allow it to happen, that would be a perfect solution. And the property is for sale, I believe. So have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Mayor LaRiviere. Thank you so much for speaking up about that. And so, You can see the situation their municipality is in. And I just know 2 years ago, I think it was Eve Martineau came and he said the only solution is maybe, as you've said, Mr. Scobie, you've got to have the requirements for the noise. You've got to have the requirements for the time of day that this has to stop. You just literally put these things into place. It is possible. And eventually what happens is what happened to them in cities. They just have so many rules and regulations, they won't stay and hold the festival. And so I think it's worth looking into the fact that we do have a lot of residents concerned instead of doing nothing. And maybe, as you say, we can't promise anything, but I think we should at least address that there's a lot of people concerned.
Yes, and just, Jane, there are rules in place. There are SQ bylaws that say no, the music after 11 o'clock, like all that is in place. But, and people have to call the Sauté and they go, but again, I'm repeating, but they
So
don't
you're
care.
right. I think it is 11. And what I'm being told by people is that at midnight, it's cranked up even louder. So, yeah. Karen, Mayor Kelly, please take your microphone.
The same thing applied just recently up my way. We have a few people who have a musical festival. They don't overstep on the property, but their music. Now I'm approximately 5 miles away. I can hear it.
Yeah.
Now it's ridiculous.
It's that
You call-
bass. It's the thump, thump, thump.
And I know a lot of my ratepayers complain because of the actual, thank you. Because of the actual aspect of it, no one can get any sleep and people are getting annoyed. We always let the SQ know. Nothing is done so far.
Okay.
And they only do it, say, maybe twice, 2 times a year, 2 or 3 times a year.
Okay.
It's still irritating.
All right. So I'm just going to say thank you so much for all of your comments. Thank you, Eric Scobie, for coming tonight. And may I simply ask for a show of hands of any mayors that would like to be involved in at least a meeting with the SQ about this and maybe take a look at what the city of Ottawa has done. They're not the only ones. There are other regions actually in the Outaouais that have also got these bylaws. I think they had something like this in Chelsea and they've shut it down.
That's what we're
Mayor
gonna
Kelly?
have, that's what we're gonna have to do.
Yes,
But it's not only the SQ bylaws, it's our municipal bylaws as well.
that's right.
And that the whole thing has to stem from one point and eventually it's gonna march.
That's right.
We have to have the idea behind it,
Mhm.
or otherwise we'll never stop this bass throbbing at us.
Yes, that's right. It used to be up at Lac du Mont and that was, then it's pretty much moved down towards, the Litchfield area. Mayor Gagnon, here you.
Yeah, we have a public security committee. I think that's where it should go. Okay.
Certainly don't need a new committee. So we'll take this. And Julian Gagnon is here with us, so we could put it on the next Public Security Committee. That would be great. And I'm going to get comments from the other people that have been, on Facebook saying what can be done, what can we do? It's important that, and with our media here tonight, hopefully it will be reported that you brought this to our attention, and thank you very much. Okay. So is there anyone else in the room who would like to speak? Judy? Okay. If you'd like, Judy, you can come up here. There's more space and it's a good place to make presentation. You can use the table here too. Hey, you're welcome. Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah. Right.
My name is Dr. Judy Spence, and I'm a citizen of the Pontiac. And I'm going to ask you if you would mind to pass that around. So I have three things I'll be talking about tonight, and I'll keep it brief. And I'd be glad to answer it. No, it's the card says so, but no. You mean you've had my husband's pizza, have you? It's been fully incinerated. Okay,
So I want to quickly talk a question about the accident. There had been an accident of a courier, I'll call him a courier, that back in Lustville, and he had actually, when they back checked him out, they basically had radioactive container in the car. And so what we want to know is what is the usage? Who's carrying radioactive materials? It's coming, I presume it was heading toward Outaouais. It was heading towards Elmer. So therefore, I assume it came from Chalk River. It's only assumptions, and I was asking if people can investigate that. No? It's not Chalk River. From the hospital. Okay. It was from the Pontiac. Okay, so it's radioactive material they had or not? Okay, kind of like sonar, but okay. Okay. Okay, well, that's really good to know. Really, thank you. That's quick. Second of all, what you see here is what you've received is a suggestion, just a suggestion request. As you know, as you may know, that we have started a campaign in support of the radiology technicians over at the hospital, Pontiac Hospital. And that is to say, we are stakeholders. We feel that we are stakeholders and we are not at the table. It's a negotiation going on between government, the health ministry, and the union, and we respect that completely. But our staff out here have not had parity. What happened was a bonus was given to retain the radiology technicians in Quebec, because it was very easy to pop across the river and you're in Ontario and your salary jumps up. So the point was to keep the trauma hospital going and to keep the two hospitals, Gatineau and Hull, going. So they got a $22,000 for, I think, a temporary 2-year commitment, a bonus for retention. Now we, in the Pontiac, serve similar populations. We receive referrals from other areas for our radiology technicians. So they're fully involved with the Outaouais. We are part of the Outaouais, as are the other hospitals. So what we are aiming for, and we would like the mayors to consider a support via a motion of support for the radiology technicians. The ultimate concern we have is, yes, that they should be rewarded equally. Again, that's between union and the management, if you will. However, what has happened is they got their 18 grand as opposed to 22. The balance that we're talking about is now not being negotiated on their behalf alone. So we're trying to get them their $4,000 because they have need for a retention bonus. But ultimately, they've been put in together with the rest of Quebec, where the union wants every radiology technician to get a $22,000 raise or whatever they're going to negotiate. So the point of it is, it's gone past our little group and our area, and these people have been lumped in. And what really it is, it sounds like it's the same, but it's not. And I'll just clarify that so that, again, it may motivate you or make you more comfortable with the idea of a motion. When you're looking at negotiating 22 grand everywhere across the province, you're looking at an increase in salaries and changing the salary scale. That's a different story. That's the provincial negotiations. I've been involved with provincial negotiations for the nurses. But in this instance, this is a bonus. It's an extraordinary situation of retention, and we can easily lose our radiologists, not just because they can go to Ontario, but right now, for 4 grand, they may actually move to go and work at the hospitals in our own cities, in Hull and Gatineau. So we have a double threat, if you will, for losing them. And so what we ask you to do is to consider, we drafted a motion for you to consider. All right.
Yes, sir, for you. We just checked, and back in June, this council moved that the bonus or the prim be the same across the whole Outaouais. So we have already moved that. We could certainly move another one tonight, simply asking that the 18 go to 22. because, not just because Judith has asked us, Judy, but it's because Andre's been working on this. And Nicole Boucher-Lariviere told me that the talks have been ongoing and it's looking very good. And so far, no one has left. Yes, they've applied, but you know, there's always the chance. But so far, we have not lost anyone. So, I mean, we could amend a resolution we've already moved and simply update it by saying that we would like it, the bonus to be equal, or just reiterate it and spell out from 18,000 to 22,000. What do you think? Do you think, I think it would help Andre. It would be good timing, and show that it's still very much on our minds. Anybody disagree with it being the same in the Outaouais? No, ours is 18. Yeah, we're $4,000 less than Papineau and Gatineau. Wakefield, Pontiac, and Valley de la Gatineau got 18. So we could simply ask for the increase of 4,000. I think it's a good idea. Okay, next subject.
We have raised and basically are offering the government $4,000 so we can pay for one of the technologists. But it's a matter of, you know, being heard as stakeholders. We are working with Dr. O'Neill, and we've been in touch with CISO as well about this. Okay. And so next, so we know it's not radioactive. That's great. We know that we're going to basically, again, work with the motion to actually get that covered for them. That's wonderful. And I know that the union will appreciate that as well. Okay, so last thing is to let you now to something near and dear to my heart. Yeah.
Why just the techs? Why not nurses as well?
Yeah, I believe that Judy mentioned to me that you were getting calls from the nurses and saying, are you going to help us with our salary as well, when they were starting this fundraising effort? And so to address that, we do know that in the next year, the provincial government is planning to finally bring the salary level up in Quebec to be equal with Ontario for all of the medical, meaning nurses and teachers, because we're losing a lot. But we're talking now just about the bonus. So you're right, Bill. Absolutely. Why not that too? Maybe that would be a resolution for another meeting, and we can put some good effort into it and simply ask, because we see this happening in education and in the medical profession. Yeah.
And to answer your question, Bill, this was an extraordinary bonus that was given for retention. I don't know that that is the same story with the nurses. And so that's why we addressed this, because it was a unique situation. And we wanted to make sure that we had an instance where technologists were treated equally in the Outaouais. Next subject, and this is very brief, but I will be asking the mayors, the Council of Mayors, to support and basically come into partnership with us as well. This here may look like a smoke detector. This is a radon detector. It gives you red if you're in trouble. It gives you yellow if it's, like, you know, because my house, my house, we basically, my daughter's a building inspector, so learned all about this. We've had radon testing in Ottawa, but never expected. I'm here 13 years. No one has ever talked about the fact that we are in an area that has a lot of uranium. Not all uranium gives you radon, but more with a higher incidence of uranium, we would expect a higher incidence of radon. Radon will cause cancer, lung cancer, and leukemia. That is what has been studied thus far. And the link with that, if you have any pre-existing conditions like asthma, COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, your likelihood of getting lung cancer is much higher. So it is something that that struck me when Warden had mentioned way back at Chalk River that we have the highest incidence of cancer in our
one of the highest. have like the actual statistics, but we have been told that in Quebec, we have a high rate of cancer.
What struck me was we don't have heavy industry. We don't have chemical industries happening. So what struck me is what's causing it. It is possible that radon is a factor. And the fact that one can easily detect for $50, you can get a kit that goes in your house, measures your radon levels and lets you know, you'll get the results back from the lab, letting you know if you have to remediate or get rid of that radon gas. You, your kids, your dogs, your cats, everybody will be prone to. It takes about up to 10 years to develop that lung cancer. So again, it takes a bit of time for people sometimes to make the link. And so November is Radon Awareness Month. And we have worked with acquiring partners. We have a home inspection company that will be partnering with us. We have a monitoring company that will be, again, supporting the project. And best of all, we have Health Canada. I have colleagues at Health Canada that are the chief responsibles for working on Canadian building code. So their aspect is radon. So we will be having at our disposition speakers from this particular area. They're specialists in the science of and so forth. We will also be having a mitigation, what's called mitigation, the techniques for actually getting rid of to safer levels is to say radon. And it's really a matter of showing people that it's a $3,000, thereabouts $3,000 commitment from each household. The good news is it's half pay depending on if you meet eligibility requirements, like you have lung cancer or you have your income in the family is under 80,000. There is a fund to pay one half of that. So that helps you to, make mitigation, reducing risk. I think I'll leave it at that for now. Good.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Go ahead.
I just wanted to thank you for bringing that. We have had a presentation in the past, I believe, on radon from Service Canada. That was, yeah, it's been a long time. I thought it was in, I think it was before.
It merits. Yeah, thank you.
But I'm just a life experience. I tested radon in my new home and the levels were skyrocket, 4,000. So we were at 4,000. So we installed a unit to pipes to exhaust, and then oh yeah, it's called. So it does work. And
the day Judy spoke to me about this, I encouraged her to come because I haven't asked all of you, but I don't think it's something that is routinely being looked at by building inspectors or by anyone. And I've always been told that under the ground, there is a lot of uranium. I've had relatives tell me that, and I don't know if it's for the whole Pontiac, but certainly is over in the Fort Plunge Mansfield area. So
of the homes in Clarendon. This area, your rate is very. So there are maps.
yeah. So I really thank Judy for bringing our attention to this, and I think it is something that definitely needs to be looked into. Yeah, yeah.
That will help your citizens.
Yeah. I think maybe we can't partner with you, but we can sort of be supportive of what you're doing. But we also, as municipal leaders, need to, I think, investigate the impact of, or the best way to help inform our municipalities. And also, I don't know enough about it. Perhaps we should have at our plenary meeting some good information about this and how it would all work. And then I don't know if you know much about it, Tim, or if anyone here at the table, Kim, you and Julian. Yeah, Julian. Yeah, so it is something that I think we could discuss at a plenary soon. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I know what you were asking for. You were asking to hold a public meeting about this. And you were looking at renting the Campbell's Bay RA, but it's $400. And so if you could leave it with us, we will have a meeting about the best way to get this word out and what kind of community meeting we would have. And we will let you know about it. And maybe then there would be no cost to you. And if you'd like to, you know, we can recognize you as one that's really championing it and giving and bringing it to our attention. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you mean the experts or whatever. What you know what we don't want to do is we don't want to get everyone whipped up into a frenzy of fear. I think what we want to do is just address it and open people's eyes and give education and information. Okay? Okay. Okay. No Dr. Connett? Just joking. I don't think he's interested in radon. Okay. Oh, he is. Okay. All right. Anyone else here for public question period? Nina, you're going to be making a presentation when we come to it. Thank you. General Administration, Kim Lesage, a resolution on an appointment for the environment.
Une résolution pour nommer quelqu'un qui sera responsable des dossiers en environnement à cause des gros dossiers qu'on a de plus en plus là, dans ce département-là. So this is to nominate someone as responsible of the environmental department because we're getting more and more mandates handed down to us in that department. And so I'm very pleased to nominate Carrie Richardson, who's been working with us for about 16 years, I believe. She's not here tonight, but she's was very excited to take on the position. And then so her position then becomes vacant, which is a conseiller en environnement.
Is there a formal resolution to read out, or we're just voting on her appointment? Okay, could I have someone move the resolution pro Warden Sandra Armstrong? All those in favor, opposed, and we will record that as unanimous. And congratulations to Carrie. 13.2, nomination, appointment, Assistant Director General. Kim.
Une autre nomination, c'est pour un directeur général adjoint. So we've decided not to replace at the moment the economic development director and put in place an assistant director general. We went through a call for applications. We received at least 10, narrowed it down to 4. We had the FQM also involved in the telephone interviews, the in-person interviews, and psychometric testing. And I would like to nominate Terry Lafleur as our Assistant Director General. We need a resolution for that, please.
All those in favor, opposed, Terry. I would. Yeah, is he here tonight? Okay. So if he's listening or watching, I would simply like to say, I think it's the first time we've had a mayor apply for a position like this, but we know that Terry has a vast background in many areas, to include human resources, real estate, certainly building inspection. He's been an inspector. He's been an urbanist at Little Calumet, and he has a lot of experience. And you know, we know around the table he has a lot to say on many subjects. So we just wish him all the very best and say congratulations. And I guess we will record that as unanimous, that decision. And this will also mean tonight we have Jennifer Quayle here, our pro mayor of Otter Lake. And so perhaps this will mean a by-election in Otter Lake. Right. So he has to resign to take the position. Very good. But at this point, we have voted to award him the position. Okay. Thank you very much. 13.3, transport action, the 2024 paratransit budget forecasts. Kim? I believe the position starts September 15th. Is that correct? Okay.
Une résolution pour les fonds au MTQ pour le transport adapté. Il faut, avec les nouvelles réglementations, il faut confirmer les déplacements en 2023 de Transport Action, qui était de 15 797 déplacements. Et le nombre prévu pour 2024 serait de 20 000 déplacements. Et une résolution aussi pour que la préfète et moi-même soient autorisés à signer les documents. So this is a resolution for the MRC because we have a service agreement with Transport Action for the public transit service. There's new terms and conditions for that program. And so we have to confirm that our financial participation for this PSTA program, we have to approve the transportation plan by Transport Action for 2024. And we also have to approve the number of trips that were, or confirm that they were 15,797 trips by Transport Action in 2023, and that we are expecting over 20,000 trips in 2024. And finally, the resolution for the warden and I to authorize to sign documents for this.
Thank you, Kim. Any questions or comments? Could I have someone move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Colleen LaRiviere. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. 13.4, extension of roll filing deadline to November 1st, 2024. I need a resolution.
La prochaine résolution, c'est pour l'extension du délai pour le dépôt des rôles au 1er novembre 2024. So considering that the FQM's evaluation service has requested to have a delay for the assessment roll, this is a resolution that we would postpone the filing of assessment rolls for 2025, 6, and 7 for the municipalities of Portage du Fort, Bryson, Campbell's Bay, Litchfield, Thorne, Alien and Kaywood, Otter Lake, Fort Collonge, Waltham, Îles-aux-Allumettes, Chichester, Chimero, Rapide de Joachim, and the TNO until November 1st, 2024, rather than September 15th.
Okay, thank you. Could I have someone move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Ed Walsh. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Thank you, Kim. Excellent. Finances, Annie Vinecourt, 14.1, financial report, a resolution.
All right, so for the MRC financials, the accounts receivables are at $2,262,373.98. The regular receivables are just a few small amounts. The rest of that is all the loans and the third billing of the shares. Then we have our list of accounts to be paid. So $162,894.82. We also have the checks that were done in the past 2 months for a total of $567,148.02, which are a lot of FRR grants and then all of our regular bills since we didn't have the council meeting in June. And then the last one is the travel expenses for council for the month of June. So $1,349.46.
Thank you, Annie. Any questions or comments? Okay, could I have a resolution to move this, please? Moved by Marilyn Gagnon. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Thank you, Annie. Management of territory, Jason Durand. Up again, 15.1. And I think you're going to introduce someone who's going to make a presentation.
Thanks, Jane. Good evening again, everyone. I would like to invite Nina here up front. Again, we'll be talking about waste management. Oh, for sure. Donc, on va donner la parole à Nina. So I'll give you the floor there, Nina.
Thanks, Al. Well, hello all. I, on behalf of the MRC, would like to invite everyone to, all Pontiacers, to participate in a 7 challenge waste reduction campaign that will be coming up this fall. over the next 20 weeks or so. We'll have 7 different challenges. And I will just run a little presentation and then I'll follow up with the guess on it. Puis je peux, ouais, c'est ça, puis je peux le répéter en français aussi. Qu'on invite les Pontiac soie, non, les Pontissois, pardon. Oh, make a jingle like that one. So the idea is if we all take baby steps, we can make big impacts. So I'd like to try to get Pontiacers to think of waste in a little more positive way. With 7 challenges that are going to be held over the course, as I said, of the fall, adapted to the different seasons and the different holidays that are coming up. So we'll be working with an application that's called Project Z that was developed by la Société de réduction des déchets québécois. And I'm going to be present at the Shawville Fair. We're going to have, there's going to be an ad out in the Journal next week that's going to launch the program. I have little cards here that I've made up and that I'll be distributing throughout municipalities. I'll be leaving some a little bit everywhere. Encourage everybody to just go to the link that's on the card, sign up for the program or for the program, the challenges. And then from there, we'll be feeding the various challenges as the fall presents itself, everything from zero waste lunches to kick it off, to green Halloween, to a local thing, shopping local for Thanksgiving, trying to come up with a local meal 100%, and so forth. Yes, and the pumpkins and Christmas trees as well. Yes, trying to close the loop on everything, having people shop local for their pumpkins to the point of finding local farmers to bring your old pumpkins afterwards. Trying to just little steps, little changes in our habits and ways of looking at garbage in the Pontiac. Starting with that first R, the reduce first R.
Just tell us, because it was moving so quickly. At the very beginning, you said in the Pontiac, is it the average and 20? So right now we're producing 322 kilograms per person.
Exactly. We won't say zero waste because it tends to scare people off, but I'm sure that we can all do a little bit better. And the idea is also, yes, the reduction of the waste, but everything that comes behind your garbage bag, everything that's put into that garbage bag with, on average, with food traveling great distances. And throughout the campaign, we'll be letting out the stats and fun facts to get people thinking about their garbage.
Give Nina a tremendous amount of credit. She's got a huge background in waste management. I mean, in Ottawa, in Gatineau, many big centers. And what we have needed here is just someone to launch this and to have that enthusiasm and to have the confidence, because she's done this before in other places. So we're going to see great things with Nina. So thank you so much. And then on top of that, she also manages the garbage contract and everything else. And so far, so good. That's
Everything has gone smoothly as far as I know with the transition with Philo Green taking over. I've worked, it was the 19th of August. So as of last Monday, Philo Green is the main contractor for garbage in the Pontiac.
Nina will be back to talk quite a bit more about all the recycling as well, and composting eventually too. So thank you so much. Were there any questions that anyone had specifically about this program that Lena's launching? Use your mic if you could, please, Mayor Walsh.
Just so you know ahead of time, Nina, in the when it does roll around to Christmas, the Shaw Clarendon brush site, we do collect Christmas trees. So you end up knowing somebody that wants it to feed it to their goats or whatever, you can contact us later.
Definitely, that's something that I'm going to be doing, is trying to come up with some lists of different participants and talking to people. We're going to be trying to source some different farms in each of the municipalities and give people different options, either to drop off or whatnot. I've been doing this for 3 years in the Pontiac now. I put a Facebook ad up in the fall, and I have pickup trucks and pickup trucks worth of pumpkins as well as Christmas trees, and I feed them to my backyard animal, my farm animals. I don't have that many, but I know that quite a few people do it, and that's something that we're going to be building on as well, as a bank of some kind that people can go to and have different names and or different sources and places that they can bring their stuff to.
Program is called Less.
Yes, the waste reduction campaign is called Less is More. Moins, c'est mieux. C'est notre campagne de réduction.
Well, thank you very much, Nina. I think we'll give you a big round of applause. It makes our job easy.
One last little thing, I'm going to distribute my little cards around the room because I think that we should be the leaders of this, and I will invite you all to sign up for the program and yes, show through leading.
Thank you so much. Okay, as well, while those cards are being passed around, we'll go back to Jason. And we've got demande d'aide financière pour l'intégration des nouvelles OGAT dans le contexte de la mise à jour du schéma de management et de développement de la MRC de Pontiac, SAD.
Thank you. Thank you again, Nina, for the nice work there. Yeah, the MRC Pontiac is requesting financial assistance from the MAMASH to revise its land use and development plan in order to integrate the new government orientation for land use planning. This is commonly named as the GAP. So actually, we're looking at $300,000 per year for 3 years. So definitely, we're going to take advantage of that financial assistance. Donc, c'est une demande d'aide pour l'intégration des nouvelles orientations gouvernementales en aménagement du territoire, communément appelé les OGAP. Ça, c'est dans le but des travaux de révision du schéma d'aménagement. Donc, on aura accès à une aide financière de 69 306 $ par année sur jusqu'à 3 ans. Donc, ça va prendre quand même un protocole d'entente signé par notre DG Kim Lesage. Donc, we're going to need, however, a protocol of agreement for having this financial assistance. And we'll have Mrs. Kim Lesage to sign these documents. Resolution, please.
Who would like to move this resolution? Any questions or comments? Okay, it's that hand up, Mayor Donnie Gagnon. Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Go on to 15.3. The correction of a cadastral survey plan for land sold by the MRC Pontiac to Artesia Peaks. Jason?
Yeah, so the MRC Pontiac wishes to have a correction made to a survey plan at the Cadastre of Quebec for land sold to Artesia Peaks Corporation in 2018 at Lake Murray. In addition, the MRC Pontiac must obtain a correction to the notarial deed this purpose, a mandate must be issued to Maître Mireille file. Donc, en français, la MRC Pontiac devait faire corriger un plan d'arpentage au Cadastre du Québec pour un terrain vendu à la corporation Artesia Peaks en 2018 au lac Murray. Par contre, la MRC de Pontiac doit obtenir une correction à l'aide notariée et à cet effet, un mandat doit être émis à Maître Mireille Allary pour effectuer les travaux nécessaires à régulariser le dossier. Donc, résolution, s'il vous plaît. Resolution, please.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? Someone move the resolution, Mayor Carl Mayer. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. 15.4, forest management work, timber harvesting on TPI. Jason, resolution.
Yes, thank you. The MRC Pontiac wishes to award a contract to the Groupement Forestier du Pontiac for the sale of standing timber according to measurement for the Nelson Sector Lake. Again, on more than one occasion, bids for the Nelson intervention sector were submitted at amounts lower than the MRC Pontiac's set price. However, the Groupement Forestier du Pontiac is interested in offering an amount per cubic meters for the Nelson sector, which would make it possible to recover the sums already invested in the sector in question. Donc, la MRC souhaite octroyer au Groupement Forestier du Pontiac un contrat pour la vente de bois sur pied pour le secteur du lac Nelson à Thorne. À plus d'une reprise, des soumissions pour le secteur d'intervention Nelson avaient été déposées à des montants inférieurs au prix fixé par la MRC. Par contre, le Groupement Forestier du Pontiac est intéressé à offrir un montant du mètre cube pour le secteur Nelson qui permettrait de récupérer les sommes déjà investies dans le secteur en question. Donc, pour ça qu'on est très heureux d'être capable d'offrir le secteur à ces montants-là au Groupement Forestier du Pontiac. Résolution, s'il vous plaît. Resolution, please.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? Could I have someone move this resolution? Moved by Marilyn Cameron. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Thank you, Jason. Great job. Now we go to economic development, and Kim Lesage and Annie Vinecourt taking this. Is that correct? Okay, this time, okay. 16.1, we need a resolution founding member support for the Agri-Sevre du Pontiac Solidarity Cooperative.
Une résolution pour nommer un membre fondateur soutien pour la coopérative de solidarité Agri-Saveur du Pontiac. So we are proposing to name myself, Kim Lesage, as the founding member, as a support member for the Agri-Saveur Solidarity Cooperative of the Pontiac. The MRC gets one seat, so we're proposing to name myself for that seat.
Moved by Pro Warden Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 16.2, delegate to regional boards of directors for agriculture. Resolution, Kim.
Une résolution pour déléguer notre commissaire en agriculture, Shanna Armstrong, pour 4 conseils d'administration régionaux pour l'agriculture, dont elle siège déjà, fait que c'est pour que ça soit officiel. So it's a resolution to formalize seats on the boards, on 4 boards. So there's the Table agroalimentaire de l'Outaouais, the TAO, le Centre de recherche et développement technologique de l'Outaouais, le CREDETAO, le Réseau Agri-Conseil de l'Outaouais, RAO, and Collectif en formation agricole de l'Outaouais, CRFAO. So these are 4 boards that Shanna Armstrong, our commissaire in agriculture, currently sits on. So this is to formalize her position in 4 seats.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? Could I have someone move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Doris Ranger. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 16.3, the Investment Committee Recommendations Resolution. Kim.
Des résolutions pour le comité d'investissement. Alors, il y a 3 recommandations pour des PSE, des subventions, 2 de 20 000 et une de 75 000 So this is a resolution to adopt the recommendation from the investment committee, and it's for 3 grants, 2 in the amount of $20,000 and 1 in the amount of $75,000.
Any comments or questions? Okay, moved by Mayor Corey Spence. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Go on to the MADA Collective Approach Resolution.
Une résolution pour la démarche collective MADA. MADA, ça signifie Municipalité Amie des aînés. Alors, c'est pour qu'on entreprend une démarche collective à la MRC. So, we wish to update our MADA policy. So, it's our family policy. MADA stands for Friends of Seniors. We're committed to improving life conditions of seniors and including them in the community. So we would like a resolution to confirm our interest and commitment to undertake and carry out the collective MADA approach at the MRC.
Could I have someone move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Raymond Pilong. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. 16.5, appointment of an elected representative to lead the MADA initiative. Kim?
Puisqu'on va réaliser une démarche collective MADA, on aimerait avoir un élu sur le comité. So for this MADA approach, we would like to elect a representative from the Council of Mayors to be designated as the person who's responsible for the MADA approach and would chair the steering committee. And we have somebody that's volunteered very kindly, and this resolution would name Sandra Armstrong for this.
Do you accept? Oh, yes, of course. Okay, although, so who we, so Sandra is being, our pro warden's being recommended and accepts, so we need somebody to move the resolution. Moved by Mayor Jean-Louis Corriveau. All those in favor, oppose, and that carries. And thanks, Sandra. 16.6, utilization report, FRR 3, 2023-2024. Kim?
Une résolution pour le rapport d'utilisation FRR 3. Alors ça, c'est pour accepter le rapport d'utilisation pour qu'on ait un versement du ministère des Affaires municipales pour le fonds de volet 3. So what we're looking for today is a resolution to accept the usage report that we prepared for FRR Stream 3 from the Ministry of Municipal Affairs for 2023-2024, and we need to adopt this to receive disbursement from the MAMASH for Stream 3 funds.
Could I have someone move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Ed Walsh. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. 16.7, we're on the donations. Kim? 16.7.1. We have a sponsorship request for Oktoberfest in Ladysmith. Kim?
Une demande de commandite pour Oktoberfest, la fête à Ladysmith. As Mayor Karen Kelly mentioned earlier, Oktoberfest is coming quickly, and so they've asked the Economic Development Department for a sponsorship, and we will award their request, so an amount of $200, un montant de $200 pour Oktoberfest.
Moved by Mayor Lynn Cameron. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. 16.8, Development Projects Analysis Committee Recommendations, FRR Volet 2, reserved amount for the Bryson RA Resolution. Kim?
C'est une recommandation du comité d'analyse des projets structurants. Ça, c'est pour le FRR Volet 2. Alors, on avait une somme réservée pour le Bryson RA pour un filet de protection autour d'un terrain de balle. Alors, c'est pour allouer un montant de 12 764 $. We had money set aside for the Bryson RA for the Volet 2 project. They also had applied for the Papier Spa funding and received a positive response for that. So the budget was therefore recalculated, and the analysis committee consulted the new figures and are accepting the recommendation to allocate $12,764 to the Bryson RA, and this is for protective netting around a baseball field.
Very important. Who would like to move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Odette Godin. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. 16.9, Vitalization Committee Recommendations, FRR 4, Municipality of Les-Allumettes, Resolution. Kim?
Une autre recommandation du comité de vitalisation, par contre, c'est pour le volet 4 cette fois. C'est un montant pour la municipalité de l'Île-aux-Allumettes pour le redéveloppement du terrain de balle Saint-Joseph. Alors, il recommande un montant de 20 611,27 $. Again, this is a similar request, but it's for FRR 4. So the municipality of Île-aux-Allumettes had asked for some funding of an amount of $74,000. However, they had also applied for the Papier Spa program, and they received a positive response. So we consulted new figures and will allocate $20,611.27 to the municipality of Île-aux-Allumettes for the redevelopment of the St. Joseph ball field.
Thank you very much. Could I have a resolution, please? Moved by Mayor Karen Kelly. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. And finally, 16.10, the confidentiality agreement, the signing with solar company resolution. Kim.
Une entente de confidentialité à signer. Alors, le Comité d'énergie renouvelable a reçu une entente de confidentialité pour un projet potentiel en énergie solaire. Cette entente a été révisée par nos avocats. Alors, nous recommandons cette signature par résolution. So, the Renewable Energy Committee received a confidentiality agreement from a solar company for a potential solar energy project. This agreement was reviewed by the MRC lawyers and consultants. They received some suggestions. We have a revised agreement and we are proposing to sign this by resolution.
Thank you. Could I have someone move the resolution? Moved by Mayor Alain Gagnon. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Thank you, Kim. Great job. Julian Gagnon. We have a number of resolutions. So 17.1, resolution for the participation in the fire prevention technician training cohort in Gatineau.
Bonjour, merci. Good evening, everyone. This point concerns, it's a recommendation from the CSI Committee, Fire Safety Committee. The proposed resolution concerns the participation of the MRC Pontiac in a fire prevention technician training cohort to be held in the city of Gatineau from January to December 2025. The cohort aims to address the significant recruitment challenges for fire prevention technicians in the Outaouais region. Despite our previous efforts in 2023 at 2 or 3 different occasions to hire internally at the MRC, we were led to have to sign a contract, with an external firm for fire prevention services. So due to the fact that we recognize the importance of this service, the goal is to provide one candidate from the Pontiac region a promise to hire after the successful completion of the course to be given in Gatineau in 2025. Resolution.
Excellent. Thank you, Julian. Any comments or questions? Could I have someone move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Pauline LaRiviere. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. 17.2, installation of lights on the emergency off-road rescue ATV resolution. Julian.
Yes, another recommendation from the Fire Safety Committee. This resolution proposes the acceptance of a quote received from CTM for the installation of emergency lights, scene lights, and a siren on the emergency off-road vehicle owned by the MRC. Resolution.
Thank you, Julian. Could someone move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Karen Kelly. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. 17.3, a resolution for the denunciation of the quality of instruction and exams provided by the École nationale des pompiers du Québec. Could you just explain what came up?
So another recommendation from the Fire Safety Committee. Essentially, the École nationale des pompiers du Québec is our provincial organization responsible for the training for firefighters in municipalities of less than 200,000 residents. This organization is responsible for all testing and exam qualifications, including instructor qualifications for exams across the Pontiac and everywhere in the rural areas of Quebec. The translation quality, the comments that we have received in committee meetings and over the past several years has been that the quality of the exams and specifically the translation of exams from French to English is problematic for many different reasons, but mostly because the comprehension of the information obviously is paramount in firefighting activities, health and safety being our priority on fire scenes. So for this reason, we'd like to at least raise a flag and say we are denouncing the quality of this translation, and we will have this resolution sent to all relevant authorities and Ministry of Public Security, the FQM, and so on.
Yes, and there's even talk that this could be a resolution, you know, in the fall when there are so many of us at FQM, and there's a certain time where resolutions come from different MRCs that are good for the whole province. And basically what was being said, I think, is that it's almost impossible to pass these exams, and they're never changed, and they're multiple choice, and it's really not necessarily examining you on the important things. So I'm really proud that this is coming from Julian and from our MRC. So, yes, Donnie. I'd like to make, moved by Mayor Donnie Gagnon. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Thank you very much, Julian. Excellent job. I wanted to bring to your attention, going back to what our Judy Spence talked about. We have amended the resolution and we will move it. It will be 18.4, and Travis has drafted a very, very good example or what we will be moving. Basically about the bonus going from 18,000 to 22,000. So we're just reiterating or amending the fact that we'd already asked for them to be equal. That wasn't what we received. So now we're going to spell it out. 18.2, Kim Lesage resolution request to the Quebec government on the dematerialization of social assistance services. Oh, pardon me, I'm trying to end the meeting a little too early. Miscellaneous, 18.1, for Rapide des Joachim, support services. Oh, this is very important. An interprovincial agreement to help them with their medical services, which are, I'm just going to actually give the Mayor of Rapide des Joachim a chance to talk about the challenge you have right now. Have you got a microphone? Lucy, just to talk about the need for support for interprovincial medical services. Status. Yeah, and if you have a greater emergency, instead of just going, say, to Pembroke, which would be much closer, big hospital, you're being taken to Gatineau or Ottawa. And then I think even your pharmaceuticals sometimes have to come all the way from Mansfield and that sort of thing. So, okay, I guess that's a better mic. So you could say that again.
I said at least 80% of the people who need medication come from the pharmacy in Mansfield.
It's a very long trip and it's more expensive as well. So I think that we would love to support this resolution. Lucy, on behalf of you and Rapide, would someone please move it? Moved by Mayor Karen Kelly. All those in favor? Opposed? And we will record this as unanimous. Thank you. Now we'll go to 18.2, Kim, for the request to the Quebec government on the dematerialization of social assistance services.
C'est une résolution considérant que ça fait plus de 5 ans que le conseil de la MRC de la Vallée réclame au ministère de l'Emploi, de la solidarité sociale, une approche plus équitable qui tient en compte les réalités des MRC dévitalisés. Et la demande, c'est que d'arrêter la dématérialisation des services. So considering that for more than 5 years, the Council of the Gatineau MRC de la Vallée de la Gatineau has been calling on the Ministère de l'Emploi et Solidarité sociale for a more equitable approach that takes into account the realities of most devitalized MRCs like ourselves. Year after year, citizens lose out enormously in terms of local services, available public professional resources on site, and measures and programs to support them in terms of social and economical integration. So what we're proposing is that the MRC Pontiac opposes the transformation of the public services of employment and social solidarity as aligned by the senior civil services, including their strategy of dematerializing social assistance services. Because the impact that it has on is that those on social assistance who will no longer have benefits of on-site employment assistant agent for whom literacy issues, including digital literacy, are major, and for whom access to a computer and internet connection is not always an option. So we're also asking that the Premier Quebec take note of the issues that are being faced by MRCs like ourselves, and that they urgently intervene with this political counterparts.
To have someone move this resolution, please. Moved by Mayor Corey Spence. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Thanks, Kim. 18.3, I'll just start out by saying that 3 years ago, we started a Centride breakfast. We held it in Shawville, and then last year it was in Campbell's Bay. So this year we're going to have the third MRC Pontiac breakfast, and our staff are really engaged working on this. And I know that Kim has just personally signed, I said better you than me, a letter to each of the municipalities asking for a $250 donation. We're aiming, this is their 80th anniversary, and so we're aiming for $8,000. We raised $4,000 last year. And so if every municipality gave $250, that's $4,500 right there. And our breakfast will probably easily make $3,500 to $4,000. So hope that you will also attend this. And do you have a date?
Yep. So we're also our team is also actively looking for sponsors for the food, and we have the catering in the hall already reserved. So the MRC Centride breakfast will be on October 2nd. It starts at 7:30 a.m. Ends at 9:30. There's QR codes on posters if you want to, and you can buy your tickets online or in person here at the MRC. And we'll also have Square Terminal that you can pay on site with your cards. And our goal, as Jane said, because it's the 80th anniversary, $88,000, and to get 80 sponsors. So we're really busy looking for sponsors and donations for this event. So we invite you all to come. And if you cannot make it, you can also, it's at the Campbell's Bay RA. So October 2nd, 7:30 a.m. And if you want to purchase a ticket but can't be present, we will be offering meals for seniors or people that are vulnerable, and Transport Action has agreed to deliver some breakfasts. Yes.
Last year, I believe there were, Mayor La Riviere was just confirming about 25 of her residents were able to come last year, which was great. I think they enjoyed it. Pardon me? Yeah, St. Joseph's Manor. Yes, pardon me. That's what I meant. That's fine. I just assume everybody knows. Pardon me. And and Kim has asked me to also mention there's going to be a girls' night out. Sorry, men. Girls' night out, and it's going to be actually held in Fort Collonge at the Cinema Lynn. It's all being offered for free, and it is a movie, Mamma Mia. I think there's going to be a bar open, and it's one of those sing-along movies, and it should be a lot of fun. Do you remember the date?
September 12th?
That's coming up quickly, September the 12th. Girls' night out. Okay, perfect. 6:30 p.m., and we're going to be watching Mamma Mia. Finally, we're going to now, Odie has a question. Yes, Odie. Yes, that's right. Are there more women than men, or is it now even? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a tie. 9 men and 9 women, and then me, 10. Very good observation, Odie, and there are not many MRCs that can see that. Okay, all right. So Travis has very kindly come up with this resolution. It's an amendment to what was moved in June. And this is how it will read. This is 18.4. Can we just have a resolution to add it to the agenda, moved by Mayor Colleen Riviere? Considering the adoption of resolution CM 2024-06- That says 32. There aren't 32 days in June. Oh, pardon me. It's the number of the resolution. What a dummy. I stand corrected. Regarding I thought it was the date, 2024-06-32. Regarding compensatory measures for technologists in the Outaouais region, considering the need to amend said resolution with regard to the amount of the bonus awarded to technologists. It is moved by, who would like to move this, moved by Mayor Karen Kelly, and resolved to reiterate the importance that the bonus awarded to Pontiac technologists be equal, to that of the other regions in the Outaouais, namely, you wrote 22,000. Okay, so we received 18. We're now asking for 22,000. So it will be equal to the other regions of the Outaouais. Okay, all those in favor, opposed, and we will record that as unanimous. Thank you very much. And we're at the closing of the meeting. Who would like to move the debt go down? All those in favor, opposed, and the meeting is closed. Thank you very much, everyone.